that shape on the screen today. Hey! Grab your friends, cause it's time to play. Hey! Spiky hair or a giant cape, tiny tail or a monster shape, squinty eyes in a mask so bright, hit the buzzer if you know it's right. Guess that shadow, call it out loud. Is it hero, sidekick, villain from the crowd? Guess that shadow, point at the glow. If you think you've got it, shout it, let us know. Bendy ears on a mystery head, stretchy arms reaching off the edge, big round shoes on a jumping blur. Could be him, could be him, could be her. Guess that shadow.
Hello, everybody. How are we all tonight? Hope everybody is doing good. We got Alpha here. Fizz says, I'm here already, and nobody can see my face because I don't got my camera on. But there we go.
Oh, okay. I don't have my camera on either. I actually shaved my beard like a little low, so it's kind of like a chin strap. It's kind of weird. It's like under my chin, so I gotta wait for that to grow back in. I'm happy to be back. Happy the show's back in action.
Yeah, we were not here last week, not due to the fact that I didn't want to be, but due to the fact that my internet was down. You're having internet problems
Yep.
this week? I was having internet problems last week.
Yep, I am actually doing this show from my phone right now because I'm getting 0.10 kilobytes or megabytes on my computer right now. So it's not in streaming order. And I wasn't here 2 weeks ago because the Secret Service visited my house.
Oh, Joshua says, I can't hear a thing you're saying. Why can't you hear a thing I'm saying? We can barely hear Rick. Hey, can you hear me now?
See, I told you he can't hear me. I told you.
No, they said they can hear you. My volume was a little down because last night I was on and Outcast was saying I was really loud. Tonight, I have the level where it was last night and it's loud or low. And that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, these streams they take a lot of engineering and stuff. People don't understand how complicated they can be.
Yeah, let's see. Okay, let's see. Fitzgerald says, I'm already here. I'll acknowledge that. Joshua says, I can't hear a thing you're saying. Oh, well, we fixed that, I believe. So then Fitzgerald says, I eventually have to laser off my beard someday. Okay, why laser off?
What? You don't like shaving?
Then
you want to be hairless?
Then Fitzgerald says we can barely hear Rick. We can hear Alpha clearly. Outcast says hi everyone.
Cool.
Fitzgerald says
hello, Outcast.
Yes, hello. Fitzgerald says we can hear you now, Rick. Oh, that's good. And then Joshua says,
all right, welcome, Fitzgerald.
Yeah, and then Joshua says, did Alpha say the Secret Service visited his house today?
Oh, no, that was 2 weeks ago.
Oh, so you were joking?
They were checking in.
Oh, wow.
Huh?
I thought you might have been joking about that.
Oh, no, I was serious. I was asleep, and I got woke up, awakened, because my brother was like, hey, come here quick. Some people want to talk to us. And I was like, oh, okay. And it was like some people, and it was like raining outside. And I was like, what are they doing? Are they doing a game show or they're doing, surveys or something. I was like, no, it's the Secret Service. And they were like, yeah, we followed a message to your IP address of a terroristic threat against the president. And we were like, huh? What are you talking about? And we're like, yeah, we just got to make sure we check all the threats. Do any of you have the X? Are you any of you on X? And I was like, yeah, I'm an X. And they're like, okay, is your user handle Skittle Kitty? And I'm like, no. And they're like, can we see your phone? And I was like, okay. They're like, oh, okay. But my brother and my dad and stuff were like, we weren't sure if they were really the Secret Service, but then they like showed their badge. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I should have probably looked at it a little closer. But I was like, it had a hologram. I said, well, it has a hologram on it, so I guess it's real.
That's
And then
definitely
they
a little
went across the
crazy.
street, and then they started asking other people about Skittle Kitty.
Oh, wow. That is crazy. And we do technically have 3 people here that play normally when we're here, so we could technically start showing some stuff. Does everybody think we should start? Should we wait till the quarter after mark, or should we start now?
Yeah, you can invite some of your friends to compete against you, get the numbers up. More competition means more strategies and stuff, Let people get the wrong answers, and then you could jump in with the right answer and you'll be first place. But that's a risk. That's risky. But it makes it more
Yes.
fun. Because if it's 3 people, that means everyone gets points. There's a
Well,
better chance of there's no rush, basically. But if there's 4 or 5, then it's like, whoa, I got to hurry up and get the answer.
Yeah, for sure. Joshua says that was Rick's alt account, not mine.
No. Rick's going around tasting the rainbow. Hope not. You hacked me. Stole my IP address. Making terroristic threats against the president. I don't
Nope.
even remember the tweet. That I just remembered the name, and I couldn't read it. I was so tired.
Yeah.
It woke me up. I could hardly open my eyes, and I'm like, what?
Okay, so tonight, well, you know what? Tonight we are, as I said, doing 80s cartoons. How many people grew up in the chat watching 80s cartoons? Well, I know Fitzchozo didn't because
He's from the new millennium.
yeah.
He's Gen Z. He's all skibbity and looks maxing and trying to ascend with his aura, and will just straight up mog you.
Now I know I grew up watching cartoons in the 80s. Some of these cartoons I watched, some I didn't. Okay, says me. I thought Outcast might have. So the question is, because Outcast grew up in the watching 80s cartoons, do we think he has an advantage?
I do. I think he does.
Actually, I
It
think
depends on how old he was.
Yeah. Well, we'll wait till the 10 after mark, which is less than a minute away, and we'll start on this instead of waiting till the 15-minute mark. But
Canadian time.
Yeah, Canadian time. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next week yet. I'll figure out.
Any holidays or movies that you could. Wait, when does Mandalorian and Grogu get released?
May 22nd.
Okay, that's pretty far. Wait, no, wait. What is this week?
We're
What is
in May. That's like 2 or 3 weeks away. We could actually do
a Star Wars silhouette game?
Star Wars, yeah. Have Star Wars week.
That would get some algorithm. Get the algorithm on your side.
Yeah, maybe the week of May we'll do that. That could be next week.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, that's the day before. Well, I guess that would work. What would people
Yeah,
think of
because the weekend is when people go.
Yeah.
They look up the time and
Yeah,
reviews and all that stuff.
and the next day, well, we do it the Thursday. The next day is thing.
Mm-hmm.
Outcast says, I was 5 in 1980 and I remember a few from the 70s. Yeah, same here. In 80, I was 7. Well, I turned
Aha.
7 in 80. Anyways, it's 11 after, so it's time for round 1. Here we go. This should be easy. Any idea who this might be, Alpha?
Yeah, I think I know who that is. It's kind of confusing. The silhouette, so kind of average. So you have to be really careful. It could be anybody,
It could be anybody, almost.
but it's not anybody.
Yes. But we are on round 1,
This is
so I'm not trying to trick you so much at this point.
I don't know. This is pretty tricky. It's so plain that unless you knew, you wouldn't be able to get it.
We have a guest from Fitzchozo. We have a guest from Outcast.
Okay, that's 2.
Just waiting to see whether Joshua. And we have a guest from Joshua. Fitzchozo is saying He-Man. And then Cobra, Outcast is saying Cobra Commander, as well as Joshua. And the one thing we have to remember, this is part 2. Any characters that I used in the first one, I'm not supposed to be using in this one. I'm actually forgetting whether I used this one in the first one or not. So I don't think I did. Hopefully I didn't. It would be the only one that I did if I did, which is number 1. So before we reveal exactly who it is, who do you think this is? You think anybody in the chat got it right in?
Yeah, I think some people got it right. I think this is Cobra Commander holding a pistol.
And you would be correct.
Good work, everyone.
Cobra Commander.
What? That's how the Baroness would say it. I don't know where she was from.
Over in Europe somewhere.
But she had an accent.
So Outcast gets first, followed by Joshua.
Oh, I cosplayed Cobra Commander like this once. When I lost a lot of weight, I was like, I'm small enough to be Cobra Commander.
And you're like, yay!
It was fun. No one could see my face.
Okay, so that is round 1. Time to slither away from round 1 and bite into round 2. Okay, that's a little late. Yeah.
There's a delay. I'm on my phone. This is different.
So
Okay, this is
any
gonna be
idea?
interesting. I have ideas, but it's the years and all that stuff. It's making it confusing.
Now remember, it just has to be, well, a cartoon that played during, so it could have characters from other years that you more associate some characters from, but they could have a new cartoon. Like we were talking off air earlier about Scooby Doo, right? You know,
Right.
Scooby Doo had, yes, his original cartoon was like 60s or 70s, but he did have other cartoons in the 80s. So, it would allow for Scooby Doo
Hmm. Interesting.
to be, one in, we'll say the 80s, because, not saying this is Scooby Doo, obviously. I'm just using that as an example.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah. But we do have a couple guesses. We have Outcast saying Tom. Fitzgerald saying, I don't know. Joshua saying Tomcat.
Hmm.
So, do you think anybody's got a right answer? Do you think it's something else?
Yeah, I think some of those. Well, one of them sounds correct, or two.
Well, if one is correct, I think two is correct. Two of them were correct. Because Fitzgerald technically hasn't guessed because he said, I don't know.
Hmm. You can always steal an answer.
And just a reminder to everybody, or let everybody know, there is one round tonight that somebody has used points for to select a silhouette for that round.
Ooh.
Or for a round. So I'm not going to say which round it is, but I will reveal that at the end of the night. And also, everybody, just so you know, we have an outro now. So you'll have to take a listen for that. It's in less than a minute. Anyways, I guess I should reveal who this is. Oh, Tim got in just before I got here. Got in just before I was about to reveal. So, and he says,
"Was that three answers then?"
Yeah, three answers. So, I never asked.
Okay.
Who do you think it is?
But did Fizz get to answer?
Fizz went, I don't know, and he did take advantage of the fact. I guess he doesn't think the other guys are correct, so he's not.
Oh man.
So who do you think it?
Well, this is number 2, so you have to go with the obvious answer. So I'm just gonna say Tom from Tom and Jerry.
And that would be correct. Well, that was right on time.
What was the show?
They had some sort of Tom and Jerry cartoon during the 80s. I forget what it was called exactly. Probably just Tom and Jerry. Or the new Tom and Jerry show or something like that. I forget, because I look for, obviously, when I'm looking for this stuff, usually I look for specific, like I type in cartoons of the 1980s, right? And I go through a list, and I just select ones. And I thought that, and at first seeing that, it's like, oh, what? But, I double checked and all that. I don't always remember the newer shows, for something like this. But it's, again, just like I was saying with Scooby-Doo, right? Scooby-Doo originally was in the 60s, but then he had 60s or 70s, but then he had, a couple cartoons that came out in the 80s.
In the 80s and the 90s and the turn of the century.
Tim says Tom and Jerry's adult block party. He says, no, wait, that was Ren and Stimpy. Okay, anyway.
Yeah,
so
that was disgraceful.
So we have Outcast as number 1 again, followed by Joshua, and followed by Tim. So there we go. Hopefully nobody gets real catty over round 2. Let's take a walk, a prowl to round 3.
Oh, that one's tough. Unless you remember your 80s cartoons, then it's pretty easy. I would have to look this up, but I can't because I'm on my phone today. You're still there,
Yeah, I'm still
Cross.
here. I know what character it is. I was just looking up the name.
You chose the silhouette.
Yeah,
You
I
should know
chose.
these things.
Well, I knew exactly what it was. I'm just looking up the more the spelling or whatever. I'm not sure how to say it.
Yeah, I
Uh,
understand.
uh, Tim says Grizzlor with a question mark. Fitzjoseph's like, I have no idea. Tim is like, probably
See, it's
because you
tough.
are in your 20s, Fitz. And then Tim says, you need to be old like us.
Yeah, most shows tend to stick around and make a comeback. If this is what I think it is, they have not rebooted this.
Well, I won't say one way or another yet. Of course, we are waiting on Joshua and Outcast to see whether they can make a guess. But at least Outcast is probably doing some sort of quick research to see whether he can find it.
Mm-hmm.
Tim says, don't call it
Yeah,
a comeback.
I've got an idea of what this could be, but like I said, I never watched it. I just know it from, seeing it pop up here and
Yeah,
there when people mention cartoons from the 80s.
yeah. I don't think I ever really watched it. I might have saw an episode or two myself. But and it was definitely popular, I believe, especially among some people or whatever, however you want to say it. But okay, says Ukla the Mock.
Okay, now he's
So
just making up words.
Tim says the Goo Goo Mook. Tim, you've already
See, they're
said.
making up words.
Well, Tim's already says an answer, so I'm trying to. Okay, says I know he's from Thunder. I just can't remember his name. So we're just seeing whether Joshua is going to put in an answer. And of course, if Fizz thinks either Tim is correct or uh, Tim or Outcast is correct, he can, use their answer as his too to get some points if he thinks they're correct. If not.
Mm-hmm.
Tim says it's a title of a Cramp song. And then
Who? What's the band? Cramps?
Yeah, cramps. Cramps. Metal's crying,
They named
laughing.
herself after pain?
And then Fitzchoso says, goo 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 muck.
See, they're just making things up.
Tim says, Fitzchoso, that's the title of a Cramps song. The Cramps. Well, it doesn't look like Joshua is going to be answering. So, with that said, anything that anybody you think this might be? You think anybody in the chat might be correct? Or the one person that really...
Someone
actually
may be
Tim,
correct, but these seems like they're just making up words.
Tim, of course, said Grizzlor, which is from, I believe, She-Ra. And then, of course, Outcast says Ukla the Mock, which he is saying is from Thundar, the Barbarian.
And who's got the third answer?
Well, Tim put in the Krampus song title. You know, it wasn't really, I think, nobody else has said a guess.
Oh, so there's still a chance.
Yeah, well, the only other person here doesn't seem to be putting in an answer, and that's Joshua. So I'm calling it unless he gets it in before I reveal the thing or within a second after. Metal says that's a sleepy face. I didn't just wake up, but I did just get out of bed. So, with all that said, do you believe Tim is correct with Grizzlord? Do you believe Outcast is correct from with Ukla the Mock from Thundar the Barbarian?
I think it's Ukla the Mock from Thundar the Barbarian.
Well, we don't have
Final
to.
answer.
Yeah. Well, nobody is going to be mocking Outcast because it is Ukla the Mock. So good job, Outcast. Good job.
Yeah, I never watched that show, but I always hear people saying they want toys of these guys.
Yeah. However, you know, Tim might be mocked a little for thinking it was Grizzlor. He'll just be grizzling over his answer.
Oh boy.
So let's stop mocking anybody from round 3 and grizzle over to round 4. Tim's like, you shut you mouth, Canadian.
Ooh. What is this? Okay, what number is this again?
Number 4.
Oh boy. Okay, number 4, so it can't be that difficult. But wonder how wonder how long it's gonna take for someone to answer this.
Outcast says Spirit. Tim says Swiftwind. We got Mastra saying Hastor. And Fitzgerald saying clearly some kind of horse. Well, geez.
It's a lot of answers.
Yes. But I'm not sure whether Joshua is here to answer, so. Tim says,
That was four
and
answers, though, right?
well, three technically, because Fitzgerald answered, but he didn't. He said clearly some kind of horse, but that's I guess he can still answer if he wants. Tim says, and yes, my guess is from Shira. Don't judge me. I won't. I watched Shira. I liked it.
The funny thing about, well, I used to watch it when I was like 2 or 3, I guess. But the interesting thing about She-Ra was they expected all the boys to migrate over to She-Ra because they ended up canceling He-Man and they started running She-Ra.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. They had reruns of He-Man, but I didn't know they had canceled and moved on to She-Ra.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either at the time. Well, I went to see, of course, He-Man and She-Ra and the Secret of the Sword, which was the thing that they brung over to She-Ra when, they brung it out.
Yeah, that's like the spin-off into it, I guess.
Yeah.
The handing of the baton.
Mastema says Canadian Steed.
Ooh, cool. I didn't know that was
no,
character.
it's not. I think he's making something up and guessing. Outcast says,
I was thinking, man, like Cougar didn't have to run everywhere. He could ride a steed.
Outcast says, doesn't Swift Wing, I think he meant Win, have wings, Tim? And then Tim's like, damn it!
Whoa, language.
Fitzgerald answers Starlight. And then Tim says, they strangely enough include it as part of the Masters of the Universe. Yes, they do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, technically She-Ra is part of that universe because it came out of it. She's Adam's He-Man,
Twin sister.
Adam's brother. But unfortunately,
Sister.
Yeah, sister. Well, Adam is her brother.
Yeah. Adam is her brother, and she is his sister.
Yeah. But because of a lot of legalities, except for when you're doing film and all that, you probably can't have them in. Maybe not even in the comics. I'm not sure. There's just some legalities for who owns what and all that. I found out the other day. Filmation doesn't
so she's not going to make an appearance in the new movie.
No. That's why that's why you haven't really seen He-Man in anything that they've done for her, and you haven't seen She-Ra or heard of her in any cartoons. Although I think DC or whoever did the comics last did do a version of her in them. But anyways, Metal says men like Cougar would need something even bigger than a Clydesdale. So with that, and Tim says maybe Canadian Shield needs a twin sister like Panther. Oh, a sister. Beep like Panther. Well, I don't think Panthers. Any Panthers in Ontario. Anyways, with our things of Spirit, Swiftwim, Hastar, and Starlight, do you think anybody has the correct answer?
Maybe someone has it because I don't know what it is. I'll just say the last unicorn.
The last unicorn. Well, it's definitely not the last unicorn, but I can confirm one person. I can confirm one person in the chat does have the right answer. And the person that does not have the right answer is Tim.
Oh, man.
Because just like Outcast said, Swiftwind has wings. So, although Swiftwind is technically She-Ra's Adora's horse transformer, and Adora's horse is Spirit. But you know what?
Wait, did anyone say that?
Outcast said Spirit, but you know what?
What?
He has spirited the wrong answer. It is Fischoso with
Oh, what?
Starlight that has the right answer.
Oh, wow. Fizz. Fizz got it.
Yes. This is Rainbow
That
Bright.
is amazing.
This is Rainbow Bright's horse.
Wow, for the steal. That's amazing. Wow, blast from the past for Fizz. That's really cool. I didn't even know it. And I'm from the 80s.
Yeah. Metal says, Lady like elk. She is a large woman.
Ooh. Well done, Fizz. Well done.
So, Fizz takes first place.
You beat everyone.
And
Yeah.
again, Tim says, damn it.
Whoa. Language.
So let's gallop out of round 4 and take a jog to round 5. And Outcast says, congrats, Fizz.
It's more of a trot.
So we are in round. We are now in round 5. Any ideas who this might be?
Yeah, I got ideas.
Oh, Tim's already and Outcast have both already put a guess in the chat. They are guessing. They are both guessing Slimer.
All right, now we got to wait for Fizz and the other person.
Well, the other person. Tim says, "Boom, baby, spikes a football." Yeah, we have Mastema, if he or she is still here, and of course, we have Fitzchozo. And actually, I'm going to be back in a second. I have to go use the facility. I won't be long.
Okay, I guess I'll keep everyone busy talking about 80s cartoons and stuff, which are very different from other cartoons because the Reagan administration allowed advertising in cartoons in the 80s. So that's one reason why you would watch an episode of a cartoon and then they have a toy of it in the toy aisle. Like the Ninja Turtles had the Knucklehead and the Cheapskate vehicles and accessories and enemies, and then you go to this toy aisle and see them there, and you're like, whoa, that's cool. Or you'd watch the episodes of G.I. Joe, and then you'd see the characters from the show on the aisle, which makes sense, you know. Kids want the characters they see in the show. But, you know, sometimes it's just like, hey, that's a toy. They put the toy in the cartoon, you know? And I think Ninja Turtles is the biggest example of that because they had the turtle van and the turtle blimp. It's almost like they were thinking of all these things to make toys out of to put into the show. And the cartoon is so different from the original 80s comic that it's definitely a vehicle to sell toys.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. In the 80s, 70s, and 80s, they did a lot of cartoon. Well, mainly the 80s. They did a lot of stuff where cartoons were meant to sell toys. Which I actually sort of like. Because then, you know, I think you got better cartoons because of it. Now, not so much. Let's see. Outcast said, touche, Tim, touche. Tim says, real Ghostbusters all up in this mug. Fitzgerald says, I can't think of an answer.
Oh man,
Tim says, most
you still copy.
cartoons. Yeah, he can if he wants. He can copy Outcast and Tim if he thinks they're correct. If he can't think of anything else, or he can just not. It's up to him. Tim says most cartoons usually were in support of a toy line, as we were just saying. Tim says, I'm thinking a toy in support of an indie comic book. Yeah. Well, the thing is, the big problem with that is whether you can get it done cheap enough. Like I did do an action figure for Canadian Shield, but that was like $300 to $400 to get or whatever. So,
Whoa.
well, Canadian, I think it was a little
Yeah.
cheaper American. But anyways, I don't think Mastema is guessing. We have Outcast and Tim having made their guesses. And doesn't look like Fitz is going to be guessing because he can't think of anything. So, do you believe Tim and Outcast are right with Slimer, or do you think this is entirely another character altogether?
I will copy Tim and Outcast. Final answer.
Okay. So you believe it's Slimer. Tim says, see if your local library has a 3D printer. Or they do. But printing up an action figure is, you got to get everything done, all the pieces and all that.
Yeah, the pieces. You got to make sure they don't break.
Yeah. Tim said, or Metal says, I don't think the Toy Tunes made better series, but they often did make longer series because good toy sales can keep you on the air. Well,
That is true.
I just judge a bunch of the stuff from the 80s by some of the stuff we get today with like Steven Universe, Phineas and Ferb.
Phineas and Ferb?
Yeah. And maybe it's just because they're not.
It's not even nowadays anymore.
I'm not sure.
That's like 15 years ago.
I'm just saying ones that I remember from the last, more modern compared to like the original He-Man. Anyways,
I don't know if they sell toys though.
I don't think
Your
so.
examples, modern examples.
Yeah, they don't, and that's my point. They don't sell toys, but I think those 80s ones, were selling the toys. They good because at that point you want, if you're selling toys, it keeps it on the air longer, and you've got to make it good for the kids to want to buy the toys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's more than just ratings. You're making money off the products too.
Yeah. So, anyways, it seems nobody is getting slimed this round because it is Slimer.
Oh, great. You should have stole the answer, Fizz.
Tim got first place, followed by Outcast with second. Good job, Tim. Good job. Tim says Steven Universe sucks. Fitzchozo says Phineas and Ferb came out when I was 5. Metal says a lot of the 80s series kind of sucked. We just consider the more memorable ones. I can agree with that for sure. Tim says Phineas and Ferb was watered down ripoff of Ren and Stimpy. Fitzgerald says Steven Universe is aimed at an earlier pubescent girls, I believe. I'm not sure who it's aimed at myself, but
I don't know, 20-year-old cat moms.
But, you know, there
I'm sorry.
was...
I gotta be nice. I gotta be a nice host.
Tim says they were mostly cookie cutter to sell toys. Yeah. Anyways, let's see. We have to bust out of round 6 and make ourselves way to the real round 6. And then Tim says that Fitzgerald, hence why I said watered down version.
Mhm.
So, looking at this, who do you think? Do you have any idea who this might be?
Oh boy. Okay. My first thought was one thing, but the more I look at it, I realized that I was probably wrong. So we'll see what everyone says, and I'll throw out.
Is that a guess, Tim? He says conquer. And he's like, no,
What?
wait, it's a Care Bear.
Are you sure?
I'm not even sure who Conquer is. Although that's what
Oh,
this.
it's a squirrel from an N64 game.
Oh. And then says,
What's wrong here?
Fitzgerald says, I know it's one of the Care Bears. I just can't name one. Well, Fizz, you can look up names of Care Bears. It's just a question of if you think it's a Care Bear, which Care Bear is it?
Oh boy. Uh, One day I'll be shaped the same.
It doesn't matter if they were all
I guess I'll go with
shaped
my
as-
first thought. That's like asking about if you had a silhouette of a Ninja Turtle and you're like, which one is it? And it's like they're all shaped the same.
Yeah, except
So,
with the Ninja Turtles,
so,
if they have their weapons in hand, you'll know the difference.
oh, actually, yeah, you've got a point there.
Tim says.
Well, this doesn't have any weapons.
Yeah. Tim says, yes, I'm sure it's a Care Bear. Outcast says, I'm going with Teddy Ruxpin. I can't say a Care Bear because they all look the same, and you can't tell which one it is just by their fur.
Kind of a gamble if it is.
But actually, I wanna try and make some villains based on some 80's properties. You know, I've thought of the one for Rainbow Fright.
Ooh, that's a good name.
And
Catchy.
I'm thinking for the Care Bears, Scare Bears.
Actually, that would be a good toy. I think the kids who like scary stuff, like gothic stuff like Beetlejuice and Addams Family, they would love those. You could actually sell Scare Bears.
Yeah, it's just coming up with the exact concept. So Fitzgerald, are you going to try and name one or not? I'm just seeing what we're doing for the rest of this round. I don't mind waiting a couple minutes if you are actually looking something up. Just let
Hope
me.
no one steals your idea for the Scare Bears.
Yeah.
They can make a fortune off of them.
I'd like to think of something to do for strawberry shortcake, but I can't think of any decent name. You know, to make.
I guess you just changed the fruit and the pastry.
Fitzgerald says, I give up. Well, Tim, you are 100% correct. It's a Care Bear. It is not Conquer, whatever that is. So it is not Teddy Ruxpin, sorry, Outcast. As for were you thinking it was a Care Bear, or what were you thinking it was, Alpha?
Oh, my first thought was it was a Ewok. I thought it was Wicket, the Ewok, but then I saw that it didn't have fingers, and I was like, yeah, it's a Care Bear.
Now, which Care Bear do you think it might be?
I actually don't know their names.
Oh, you don't know any of their names?
No, I
Oh,
was too young. The show was just on TV.
Okay. I wasn't sure whether you cut it in reruns. Well, yes, as I said, it is a Care Bear, and it is Grumpy Bear.
Grumpy Bear. Everyone missed it. No.
Tim says strawberry pound cake. She needed the money.
Huh? I don't get that.
I think he's saying she's a woman of the evening.
Well, you know, some people work at night.
Yeah. Grumpy Bear.
Anyway.
It would have been better with the Care Bear cousins. You can tell them apart. Well, that's why I went with.
Grumpy.
Although I guess I should have put it up higher on the list, but that's why I went with the Care Bear, because you couldn't exactly tell which one apart. It was easy enough to get that it was a Care Bear, but then it's which one.
Maybe this should have been number 15.
I wouldn't think 15.
It was tough.
Well, don't be grumpy over your loss, people. Just care that we're going on to round 7. And Tim's like, tell me you get that joke, Delpha. I don't think he did.
I get the joke?
The strawberry pound cake, she needed the money.
Yeah. I'm just getting hungry.
Metal says, that's okay, Alpha. I don't know the names of any Care Bears either. And Tim's got the guess of He-Man. It's Chozo saying Faker.
Ooh. He's calling names. We try to be as authentic as we can on this show.
Yeah. So we're just waiting for Outcast to make a guess. And do you, by chance, might have an idea who this character is?
Yeah, but I don't know everything. I don't trust you, Tricky Ricky.
Fitzjozo
So
clarifying, he says Faker from He-Man. Yes, I know Faker is from He-Man.
oh, okay.
Faker is a He-Man bad guy. Faker is Skeletor made a reverse image of He-Man, made him into a bad guy through some sort of mirror. You know, so you had He-Man versus himself, basically. It's like, the crime syndicate, where you have the evil Superman.
Oh, okay.
The evil version of the Justice League.
That makes sense. You can get more toys from the same mold. Just change the colors and stuff.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Okay, so far we only have 2 answers.
Yeah, we're just waiting on Outcast. And somehow I don't think he thinks either people are correct.
Mm.
Um, Tim says, kinda of like
Yeah,
Bizarro is for Superman.
that's a good point. That sword is throwing me off. I'm not sure about the sword.
Uh, we have outcasting Black Star. So, we
Isn't he from
have
the anime Soul?
anime what?
The anime Soul Eater,
I
Black Star.
I'm not sure whether there's a character named Black Star in that. I'm not sure of that anime. So, with Tim saying He-Man, Fitzjoseph saying Faker, and Outcast saying Black Star. Um, do you think anybody is correct, or do you think this is some other character entirely?
I, the odds are someone got it right, but I'll just say Conan
You're going
because I'm a
with
contrarian.
okay. Again, everybody is going along the same lines here, and with that barbarian type character. And there is a correct answer. Somebody does have the correct answer. But the correct answer is not in the He-Man universe.
What?
So that means it can't be He-Man and it can't be Faker. So
Whoa, hold up. What are you doing here?
this is John Blackstar from the cartoon Black Star.
Whoa. What you got? What number is this? Why are you tricking everyone so early?
This is 7. Tricking.
Number
That's
7's this difficult?
I thought the sword would have
You
given it
deceived
away.
everyone. I didn't recognize that sword. I knew it wasn't the power sword that He-Man had.
Exactly.
Oh,
so
man.
I was surprised. Everybody in the 80s had a very unique sword, so I was surprised.
Yeah. And all the heroes were naked barbarians, apparently.
Like Conan's sword did not look like Black Star's. Black Star's didn't look like He-Man's. He-Man's didn't look like
Yeah, Thundar.
Thundar. They were all different. I thought the sword was going to give this one away.
The sword is what confused me. That's why I wasn't sure if it was Fakor or He-Man or... I was just like, that's not He-Man's sword.
Yeah. Tim says,
But I don't know about this cartoon.
Says, I knew about it. Again, I probably saw a few episodes when I was a kid, but it wasn't one that I watched a lot. Tim says, plus, Outcast is an African American star. Outcast says, I thought he was a Native American. Metal says, there is in fact a character named Black Star in Soul Eater. And Tim is like, no! This is an outrage. It's going off.
Yeah, I mean, like, number 7's this tough.
Well, like I said,
6 was tough too.
I didn't think, like this is part 2. You got to remember for 80s cartoons. So we had a lot of the easier ones in number 1, and I'm not doing a lot of those ones. I'm trying not to do any of the characters that were in that.
Oh boy.
So if people didn't do their homework to try and remember what ones were in, and I'll say it right now, He-Man was in season 1.
That's a good point.
Tim says,
So
please
difficult.
means not plus. In fact, He-Man was on Battle Cat in season 1, if I remember correctly. Because I looked, I went and looked, and I tried to make sure I didn't copy, like I said at the beginning, copy any of the same characters. That way, it'd be, it would be different enough, because there are enough 80s cartoons out there and enough characters throughout the 80s, and it would, like if we get into a part 6 or 7, if we go that far with this, if we get to like season 7 or whatever, and we do an 80s cartoons, it's going to be harder because we will have used so many characters.
That's a good point. And we're only halfway through this, and people are just missing answers now.
Outcast, Black Star sword is just half a sword. Yeah. Well, I would agree for sure. So, well, round 7 has been cut down. Let's see whether we can make a good cut in round 8.
Oh boy. Once again, these are just really difficult.
And the thing is, I'd say
You've got to know your cartoons.
I'd say every single character here I have heard of or saw at one point, myself so far anyways. We already have
Too young.
We already have an answer from Outcast. Fitzgerald says again, I'm not even going to try. He's not even going to take the answers from other people that may or may not be right. Tim puts in the same answer, Outcast, and Tim says, My Pet Monster. Well, that technically was the name of the show. So I'll give you that. But do you know the name of the character?
Oh boy. I don't. I just remember the commercials and saying, I want one. See, this is what Scare Bears could be if it is a pet monster. You can make a fortune.
Scare Bears, terrorize!
Mm-hmm.
Instead of Scare Bear stare. Or, Care Bear stare. Scare Bear terrorize. Fitzgerald is guessing Monzi for the actual name.
Well, that's an answer, I guess.
Okay, Stem, are you actually going to try and guess the name? Or are you looking it up? I'll be nice. I'm going to say I will actually give it... should I? Outcast says Monzi.
Two for Munzie.
I'm actually going to be nice. Well, that might have been a nickname, though. I'm not sure. Anyways, I think I will reveal it. Yes, it is from My Pet Monster. And his actual name, because I looked it up because I wanted to know his name, was Monster.
What? Did anyone get it?
I will say technically no. I'm not sure whether Monzi might have been a nickname or not. But the fact that they got My Pet Monster, I am going to give them points for that, or points from that.
Thank you for your mercy. That was a tough one. I recognized it, but at the same time, I was like, I don't know the name. So his name was Monster,
Yeah,
and his nickname was Monzy.
Well, I'm not sure whether that was. I'm looking up the Wikipedia right now. Monster, voiced by Jeff McGibbon in the TV series portrayed by Mark Parr in Special. The Monsters, Max's friends in the series, as opposite to being Max in Special. So Monster, it's got Monster in quotes as being his name.
I think the special was that was live action, right? With the puppet.
I'm not sure.
Because I think there was a live action special.
The character portrayed, oh yeah, live action thing, direct to video in 1986. I didn't know about that. My Pet Monster was.
Aha, I did. I was 4. Good work, everyone. You all get points.
Okay, so like I said, they got it from My Pet Monster, like I said. So Outcast first. And then Tim. And the toy was sold as My Pet Monster. And Fitzchozo was saying Monzy was a nickname. I was looking on the Wikipedia. I can't see anything about that, but I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt that it is. I could see it being a nickname easily. And I will give, because he said Monzy after they guessed it, I will give him the 1 point.
Mm.
I'm being nice.
These are so tough. The sequels are always tougher than the first ones.
Well, let's monster out and get into round 9. Not exactly a good segue, but okay, says we checked it. Monzy is a nickname for my monster. Well, like I said, I checked too, and I couldn't find it, but hey, I'm gonna believe you guys, and I could see it easily. So, like I said, people are getting points. So any idea who this character is?
I've been deceived so much this show. I'll just wait for other people to get it wrong before I can get it wrong with them.
I did
but I have a guess.
For the most part, I tried to pick what I thought was the easy ones. Like it's stuff that most of them that I would recognize. Now, would I be able to come up with the name like that? Probably not. but I know I would recognize most of the stuff that I've seen. Well, the hardest one for me probably would have been Rainbow Bright's horse. Again, I probably would have went with Spirit as well. Like Thing did. I would have
Yeah,
went more
that's what
with
I was
Shield.
thinking too.
And
That's
that's more
why
because I
his
didn't
getting it
follow,
amazed me.
and that's because I didn't really follow Rainbow Bright. I barely. I don't even think I knew she had a horse.
Me neither. I
I
just knew it
probably,
was a toy.
but like I think I remember seeing it. Now that after thing, but Fitzgerald is guessing Teddy Ruxpin,
Hmm.
and of course we're waiting on Tim and Fitzchozo. Not Fitzchozo, Outcast. To see whether they might have an answer.
Interesting. Fizz has some knowledge of 80's cartoons. That's like me having knowledge of 60's cartoons, which I do know a few of from
We
reruns.
got Outcast saying Wicket. What, you think this is a Wicket cartoon?
The devil.
You think
Baba
this
Boucher,
is
don't
you
watch that
think
cartoon. That
you think
cartoon, the devil.
you think this is a Wicket character? Of course, it doesn't end with a D; it ends with a T. Like us in a white wicket fence. I think that's probably spelled differently too. And we got Tim saying Wicket. Okay, so at first I thought it was a gummy bear. Okay, so we do have three answers in the chat. We have Teddy Ruxpin by Fitzchozo. We have Outcast saying Wicket. We have Tim saying Wicket. Do you think any of them are correct? Or do you think maybe it is a gummy bear like Outcast was thinking it was at first?
I think they're all wrong.
Okay, who do you think it is?
I think it's the girl Ewok from the Ewoks cartoon.
Well, it is right that it is from the Ewoks cartoon. So you're correct on that, and I guess they would be correct on that by, saying that. Wicket. But it is not the girl. It is Wicket.
Ah, I'm wrong again. I said that earlier. I said Wicked earlier. He's the only one I remember the name of. You guys did a good job. I'm not a hater of the the Jedi movie. I actually like it a lot because that was the first one I ever saw as a kid, and I love the Ewoks. So
Yeah.
when people talk bad about Return of the Jedi, I'm like, that's the coolest one.
Oh yeah, I love Return of the Jedi. I had seen the other ones in theaters, or at least saw them before. I'm pretty sure I saw Empire, and I know I saw Jedi in theaters. I know which theater I saw it at, which no longer exists, unfortunately.
Oh man.
Tim says, fun fact, Kenner tried to do a toy line that would take place after Return of the Jedi called The Saga Continues.
Ooh, good idea. Actually, didn't they? They did that, right? They make stuff based off the books.
So there we go. That was a Wicket level. I doubt this one will be as Wicket. Now, technically, there's 2 characters here. I only really want the name of the one. It was just hard getting. I didn't feel like cutting out the one character. So, of course, the main character is the one that I'm going for.
But which one is the main character? Ooh.
Tim says no. Like all 3 movies. Metal says, Return of the Jedi is my favorite Star Wars, but I can't stand the Ewok spin-off stuff. Tim says, I like all 3 movies. No, it was rejected by Lucas.
Mm-hmm.
And then Fitzgerald said, I assume the Ewoks were at least better than rabbits. I'm not sure what he means by that. Tim is guessing Rainbow Bright. Metal says they were better than the rabbit by comparison. Fizz, not even close to as bad. The Ewoks movies were just boring. Well, they were made straight to TV too. They were TV movies. They didn't come out in theaters, as far as I know. I only ever saw them on TV.
Yeah, I don't think they ever got re-released either.
Fitzgerald says, I'm not.
I don't know. They're canon.
Fitzgerald again says, I'm not even going to guess.
Mm.
Okay. Oh, and for if somebody wants to try and get the extra character, I'll give an extra point for that. Metal says, I had them on VHS growing up. Cool. Tim says to Metal, as an adult, I was like, what did I ever see in these movies as a kid? Outcast says, well, I'll go with Tim's Rainbow Bright. And Fitzgerald says, I assume Ewoks were George Lucas trying to capitalize on Care Bears. I don't think that's what he was trying to do, personally, but I could be wrong. Metal says to Tim, whatever you saw in them as a kid, I failed to see even as a kid. Okay, and so Alpha, we have our guesses in. Tim is going with Rainbow Bright, and Outcast is going with Tim with the Rainbow Bright, and Fitzgerald isn't guessing. So, any idea who this might be?
No, but I'll just say strawberry shortcake since I'm kind of hungry.
Well, you would be the closest of everybody. Because it is not strawberry shortcake. It is definitely not Rainbow Bright. But this is one of Strawberry Shortcake's friend, Huckleberry Pie. Huckleberry Pie. And his dog, Tom Tom.
Well, I'm still hungry, and I want pie. Yeah, you have to have supporting characters for a show, so that makes sense.
And again, I think I might have did Strawberry Shortcake last time. I could be wrong. Might not have done her. But, we're in the higher up one, so I figured get, one of the secondary characters, from it.
That makes sense.
Tim says, I'm guessing I didn't know any better. Metal says, the Ewoks were just supposed to be a fun, small alien species. The concept was pulled off better in Jet Force Gemini. Okay, I've never heard of that. I'm not even sure what that.
That's a video game.
Okay.
But, yeah, I liked Ewoks.
Yeah, same here. I like the cartoon.
I like creatures in general.
So.
non-human characters, you know?
So let's
Really puts you in a world.
nobody did very good on that one. Let's see whether we can do a little very better here.
Ooh, okay, I have an idea.
Tim says, I think the Ewoks ate those stormtroopers.
Yeah, some people think they did. They're like, where are the bodies? You know, we have a campfire there and there's helmets.
Yeah.
You know, they were little bear creatures. Maybe they ate them.
Tim, or Metal says, Tim's favorite strawberry shortcake character has to be the robot chicken parody Bleep Pudding.
Bleep.
Outcast says, Grandpa Little. Tim says, I know that's from the Littles. And then Tim says, Grandpa Little.
Fizz? Is Fizz there?
He hasn't made a guess yet. But yeah, so you
Don't
think
give up, Fizz.
You think you know who this character might be?
I believe I do. I'm just not sure of the name.
Fizz says, I don't know. So he's not going to go with anybody's guesses that's there that he could. So I guess we're going to reveal a bit. But first we'll get your take. Alpha?
Yeah, Grandpa Little. Let's say that.
Okay. Well, you guys are not a little right. You're a lot right. Actually, I should have said that in the reverse. You're not a lot right. You're a little right. But yes, Grandpa. Yes, Grandpa Little. I actually put him up this high because I haven't really ever heard many people talk about the Littles. I remember watching it. I liked it. I didn't think a lot of people knew about it. So I thought this character would be a little bit more obscure to people. I didn't think he'd be guessed.
You just need to remember that the show's called The Littles, and then it's like, he's the grandpa. So I guess you just throw the name Grandpa Little out.
Yeah. But I didn't even think anybody knew The Littles, the show, literally. Metal's like, they were going to eat the main characters if Luke didn't pull the God stunt with C-3PO. Metal says, you know,
that's true.
So don't be. And Tim says, don't belittle us. So.
Yeah, I watched The Littles on the Family Channel in the 90s. Before they got bought out like 3 times by Fox and then ABC, and they became, what was that show? Their channel, Family Channel became not the Hub, but that was the Hasbro thing, I think. I don't know. Maybe it was the Hub.
Fizz says,
but yeah, I watched it on Family Channel.
Fizz says,
I watched The Littles on the Family Channel.
Cool. Fitzchozo says, I'm literally just hearing about it. The Littles, I take it he means. And Metal says the Littles were all right. Yeah. Okay.
I think it's based off of a book, actually. I watched a YouTube documentary on the Littles.
Oh, wow.
They were called the Finders, I think. Or they like find things for people. They like borrow. Oh, the borrowers. That's what they were called. They borrow things from people and then return them. They were the lore was They're the reason why you put something away, and then when you come back, it's not there. But then you look for it again, and it's there.
Metal is, I think, saying something too. It became Freedom Alpha. Oh, the channel.
Oh, the Freedom Channel. I remember
Yeah.
the first day of Fox Family, when they debuted the Fox Family channel, they had the first episode of Donkey Kong Country on there.
Okay, so
Banana Slammer.
that wasn't very hard. It was just a little hard for people. See if this is just as much of a little hard. Oh, he says not freedom, free form.
Freeform. Oh, it became Freeform. Okay. Yeah, they were handing that channel off like a hot potato.
So
no one could make money off of it.
We are on round 11. Yeah, 12. Any ideas who this might be?
Actually, no. It seems like it's a clear silhouette. You can tell all the stuff, where the arm and the feet and head are, but nothing's coming to mind.
Tim says, I think Rick is trolling us with the puns. Of course I am. Damn. I'm trying to, use the stuff that's, in the, the various rounds to segue to other rounds. Sometimes I can do it good. Sometimes I do it a little good. Sometimes I do it a lot good.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I don't do it good at all. Yeah, sometimes I do it. Sometimes I do it more than a little good. Sometimes I do it less than a little good. And I don't think anybody has any idea who this character is because nobody's guessing.
What number is this again?
12.
12. Yeah, this is pretty odd. This is past 10, so that's the danger zone.
Tim says Jake Rockwell.
What's his name?
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Yeah, well, Fitzjosa has yet to say anything. Somehow I think I know what Fitzjosa's answer is already going to be, basically. And of course we're waiting on Outcast. And Outcast could come up with something entirely his own, or he could go with Tim's answer. I could see either. And of course, Fitzjosa says, I don't answer. In other words, I give up. I don't know.
This is tough.
This is what I was expecting for Fizzes.
I must have missed this show.
I think that's entirely possible. It's not one that I ever remember watching. I don't even remember hearing about it, actually. Well, I've heard about it since, like, in the last 10 years or so. but I don't remember hearing about it much before then. But it seemed to have a following from what I get when it was airing.
Hmm. Yeah, this is really tough. Nothing's coming to mind, and it's frustrating because this is a clear silhouette.
Okay, so what's happening? Tim says reveal. Now. Outcast has yet to guess.
Does that mean everyone gives up?
Okay, that's Tim saying it. Tim has made a guess, and Fitzgerald isn't guessing. Outcast says Mighty Orbots, Tor Robotai. So we have Fitzgerald not guessing. We have Jake Rockwell from Tim, and we have Tor Robotai from Outcast. You think either of those guys got this?
They've got as good a chance as anybody, I guess.
And you don't really have a clue as who this is, right?
No, I don't.
Well, I can tell you there is a right answer in the chat.
Ooh.
And the one who's got the right answer is not Jake Rockwell. It is Tor Robotai from the Mighty Orbots. Outcast got it.
Yeah, I've never seen that show. I've just seen like clips.
Yeah. Like I said, I was saying the same thing.
Because it's animated really good.
And I don't know who Jake Rockwell is either, so... Tim's like, no!
Yeah, I need to...
No!
I need to go back and watch this show.
Tim's like, curse you! Curse you! Well, there was one mighty person in that round. Wonder whether there'll be any mighty people in this round. Round 13. Oh, Tim says a character from the Centurions, I think. Oh, okay. I actually think I watched some Centurion stuff. I just don't remember much of it. I remember the toys, or about the toys, anyways. I might have had one. I'm not sure.
Yeah, they set the names of all the characters in the intro. So I think I remember
maybe,
like one of their names.
I might be confusing that one with one. That's the one where you could take pieces off and combine other pieces or weapons, right? They had little holes everywhere on their body. At least the toys. Okay.
But what is this?
Fitzgerald says, I'm not even bothering, as you would expect.
Yeah, this is crazy. This is one of the hardest silhouette game ever.
Tim says, Centurion would be doomed in prison. Laugh out loud.
I don't. Huh? I don't get it. Doomed in prison. What?
I guess if they were in a
But they're
prison,
heroes.
they would be doomed because all the parts come off. The body parts are interchangeable or something like that. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I don't get it. Just like I don't get this silhouette. What could it be? Any answers, folks?
Yeah. I showed these all to Metal like last Friday or Saturday. I was on. I got with him off air for a couple minutes, and I showed him. Oh,
Oh, Metal's no. He's learned. How did
Metal
he do?
did. He was stumped on. I think a lot of them.
Oh boy! Wow.
Tim
Metal
says.
can't figure it out.
Tim said. Rick said they all have those holes. Oh, okay. Tim's mind is in the gutter.
Okay.
Part
Huh?
of the course.
So we're talking
Anyways,
about prison.
yeah. Holes, prison. Oh,
No, I don't.
they would end up somebody's female dog.
What? Anyway, what is this answer?
Well, we haven't got.
Anybody got any answers for this? It's a very detailed cartoon.
Tim has yet to say an answer, and
Fizz gave up.
I think Tim says moving on. Tim gives up, so we just got Outcast. Metal says, I got like half of them, but I also explained why certain ones stumped me even if I didn't know the characters to help. Though many, I just didn't know. Yeah, and that's all right. It's about having fun, so.
Yeah, it is the 80s.
Outcast says Niddler. And Tim says, it's a silver hawk. No, I was going to guess. Oh, are you going to guess? What are you guessing, Tim?
Okay, we need an answer.
Outcast, I'm thinking it's the monkey bird from Pirates of Darkwater. I said it's a silverhawk. Yes, but if you're saying it's a silverhawk, which one, Tim? You have to be specific.
Yeah,
I
we need
get.
names.
My pet monster was an
Names, see?
My pet monster was an exception because technically, monster is the pet monster, so. And monsters in that, so I was a little. There's a whole bunch of different Silverhawk characters, so. He says Quicksilver. You're guessing one of the X-Men? No. And I don't think you're guessing at all, right?
Who,
Alpha?
me?
Yeah.
Well, my guess would be Banjo Kazooie, but that's a Nintendo 64 video game. I guess Tally Hawk. That's a better answer.
Yeah.
But I
And
doubt I know this.
Metal says the Pirates of Darkwater was 91. But you want us to know something? The
What?
works have been gummied up. There is no right answer in the thing. This is
Huh?
from
That doesn't make any sense.
This is from Gummy Bears. This is Carpy King. A villain of the
Oh, man.
from the Gummy Bears. He was I think he might have appeared just in one episode, but maybe a couple. I'm not completely sure, but that's why I said
Yeah,
the works
the only
were.
villain I knew from Gummy Bears
That's why
that
I
I knew
said
of
the
was
word.
Dookie.
Yeah, that's why I said the works have been gummied up.
Oh.
When I was about to reveal it.
That was tough. He must have been one of those secondary villains.
Yeah. And Fitzchozo reveals what I was going to reveal later.
What?
This was Fitzchozo's character that he chose for.
Oh, wow. So he got all the points.
Yeah. He says, I guess I have over 200 points now. Yeah. You spent
You did a great job.
You spent 200. You spent 800 and got 200 points. So you will end up having 208. Plus
Wow.
a couple
Good job.
other.
That was a good choice.
And I think part of it, I'm not sure whether he actually did this or not on purpose, but I think part of it seemed like a strategy was not pretending not to know a lot of the characters tonight if he didn't know them, or guessing with other people what their guesses were. Because when he got to this one, I don't even know who this is. So it works, he doesn't guess, he doesn't put out a wrong answer, to throw people off. He just, now I don't know whether that was his strategy or not, but it definitely worked with that. So
That's for sure.
let's bounce.
All of these were hard. Well, most.
Yeah, let's bounce out of
Most.
round 13 and into round 14.
Round 14. 14 of 15. Any guesses?
Fitzgerald says that wasn't intentional.
Oh, you should have just took the compliment, Fizz.
Well, he's being honest, so I get that,
Master strategist, Fizz Chozo.
But hey, it gives him an idea for maybe for next time if he does it.
That's true.
Metal says, oddly enough, this was one I got easy when Rick showed me. Tim says, Decon. Fitzgerald says, I don't know the answer. He's continuing the strategy. No.
Yes. Genius. They'll never see it coming. He must have chose this one too.
No. Tim says, Dekion. He only had enough to choose one.
Oh, man.
because was 100 points, but now he got an extra 100 points.
Mm-hmm. Is he an elite now then?
No, Fitzgerald is still not Fitzgerald. Outcast is still first. Outcast has over 300 points, but it does put him up
okay.
into second place. He now has like over 70, probably 75 points over Joshua. He's given himself a substantial lead in second place.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And if he
It
does
was
it
worth it.
again, yeah. If he does it again, right?
Worth the gamble.
Yeah. If he can do it again or a couple times, he can get himself closer to, he can get himself above Outcast or more.
It was worth it. Worth the risk.
And Outcast says, Dirk the Daring. And then Tim says, damn it, Outcast, you are right. So, Fitzgerald's not guessing. Tim's saying Decion, and then he goes on to say that he believes Outcast is right in his guess of Dirk the Daring. Do you have an idea of who this might be? Do you think Tim is right? Do you think Outcast is right? Or do you think it's somebody else entirely?
I agree. It is Dirk the Daring. Final answer.
Well, it was a very daring answer, and it was right. Of course, he is
Right.
Dirk the Daring from Dragon's Lair, the video game originally, but it did end up having a cartoon in the 80s. So.
Yep. With horrible quality.
Yeah. I put him so high because he probably should have been lower, but I was thinking, people wouldn't realize he had a cartoon, and just think of the video game,
Mm-hmm. The pointy hat gave it away for me.
So we got Outcast getting points. So we are coming up to the last round. Will people be daring enough to give an answer?
Maybe.
Metal says what gave it away for him, for Dirk the Daring, was the torch. And Outcast said to Tim about being right for the last one, said, I hope so. Well, you were, Outcast. Now, this one did stump Metal, too. If I remember right.
Yeah, I'm having a tough time with that.
Tim is saying Princess Zelda.
Actually, you know what? That's a good guess.
Metal says it got me, and I've seen the show like 50 times all the way through. Fitzgerald says, can't name this woman.
Who says it's a woman? Maybe misgendering the character.
Hey, he's just going by what he sees. That to him, he perceives that this is a woman. So, and like you said, he could be right, he could be wrong. We're just really at this point, we're waiting on Outcast to see whether he agrees with Tim or has a different answer.
$15, right?
Yeah, this is 15.
Wow. Yep. It's worthy.
Do, 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 do. Jesus, we've almost gone 2 hours.
Yeah, this is a tough one.
Well, we got talking too. Outcast is going with Princess Zelda as well. So, do you think Tim and Outcast are right? Do you think this is somebody else?
Oh boy. You know what? Just because, yeah, I'll say Princess Zelda.
Well, you know what? Tim linked to the right answer. It is Princess Zelda.
Ooh. See, Metal kind of gave a hint because he was like, he didn't know who it was, but he had watched the show.
Yeah, but Tim had actually
And
said
that
that.
was kind of the same with me.
Yeah.
Oh, Tim.
Tim
Tim,
said
what?
Tim said Princess Zelda before Metal said that.
I know, but that kind of confirmed it for me
Oh, okay.
because I owned the DVD of all these Adventures of Zelda. And
like,
I couldn't recognize the silhouette. I thought it was a duck lady.
Tim's like, boom, baby, boom.
Boom.
Okay, so let's see next week. That's the big thing. What are we going to do next week?
Any suggestions
Oh,
from the players?
well, it's gonna look. Oh, we had decided earlier Star Wars characters because
Cool.
thing is
Can we
coming
put
out.
Wicked on there again?
Yeah, good technically.
Ooh, interesting.
Um, just to throw people off, but I wouldn't do the cartoon version. Let's see. Outcast says,
Oh,
"Great job, Tim." Tim says, "Just like I owned the last round." And Tim thanks Outcast. Metal says, "I think the problem is that like 80% of Deke's women from that era had the very, very similar silhouettes. He's
yeah. I thought it was the
she's
Captain
big.
N princess.
80s hair makes it so hard. Even you see her iconic pointed ears. Fantasy characters. That's what Fitzgerald was guessing. No, we're because of Groku and Mandalorian and Groku coming out next a week from Friday. We are going to do Star Wars characters. Whether it be video games, cartoons, movies. Is there anything TV?
Books, novels.
Most of the I will say comic books. Most books you don't have any pictures to go with because they're
Well, you have the covers.
Word. Yeah.
Unlike Kathleen Kennedy, we know there's more than just the movies.
So, congratulations, Fizz, on stumping everybody on that one.
Hmm.
Um, uh, Metal says Princess Lana from Captain N would have been easy. She has a big flip of her hair sticking out the top of her head to stick out. Yeah.
Yeah, but you would have to remember the name too, though.
Yeah. Well, would be easy for Metal. He really liked
Part that gets
uh,
me.
the Captain N cartoon. So yeah, next
Well, yeah,
week.
he is Captain N, so you know.
Yeah. Yeah, next week will be Star Wars characters for the silhouette game. That's going to be easy but hard for me. I
Oh, you
think
just have to put all the characters you don't know at the very end.
yeah. Yeah. But yeah, this was pretty good. I think it worked. It was about even, I'd say, because Tim says metal knows the N word. Laugh Odell. Well, you know, yeah,
Well, he
some
is
people.
Captain N, you know.
Um, yeah, there was a lot of not third place answers, but there was a fair amount of two, and definitely, like what, one, two, three. Only three times nobody got a first place answer. So,
Hmm.
so overall, this was actually probably pretty good. The second place, didn't not a lot. That was about half. Let's see, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Yeah, about eight, just over eight technically. 7.5 is the halfway mark. So half the answers weren't gotten for second place, and then let's see, we only got one, two of the third place. So Metal says I have been Captain N on multiple occasions, including on a live game show. Yes, I still have the jacket. Awesome. So yeah, next week is Star Wars. I hope everybody enjoyed tonight. Hopefully we will do as good next week. So yeah, Fitzchozo is let's see how many points Fitzchozo got. He got what, one? He got four, so he will be at 212 points for next week.
Amazing.
So,
Well done.
anything you would like to promote, Alpha, before we take off?
I'd like to promote going to sleep at a healthy, time. It's nice to, sleep in sometimes, but sometimes you just want to try to wake up and start your day at a early time, and then you'll have the rest of the day to deal with, and you know, you'll have more hours to work with.
True, true, true. Again, thank you for joining me, Alpha. Thanks everybody in the chat for coming by. It was great having you here. It was a great, I think, a great show. We had some good conversations, some good guesses. And stick around. We do have an outro. It's only about a minute, so hopefully you will enjoy that. And yeah, good night. God bless. Catch me Saturday morning for the coloring, where I'll be coloring. I think it's page 5 or 4 of Snowdrift 2. So bye for now. God bless. Love you all. Have a great and wonderful day, night, whatever it might be for you.